Hello, 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 everyone. It is me, Stacy, that's EY, coming to you with another microburst on Thursday at 12 noon Eastern. I have been doing these consistently for the last 2 months now. So if you have missed the 12 noon Eastern Standard Time microburst on Thursdays, then go back, go through my page, um, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Go back through them and look at the previous ones I've done. So, excuse me, 1 second. Alexa, volume one. I don't know if y'all could hear that music or not. It's kind of loud. At any rate, so I wanted to come out here and again try to keep this under 15 minutes. My goal is still to try to hit under 10 minutes. I haven't done it yet, but maybe today will be the day. I doubt it. So, last week, I talked about how to overcome a challenge. The week before, I talked about how to address an issue. And so today, I'm going to be talking about how to solve or resolve a problem or problems. Just a quick recap: issue, challenge, problem. Address an issue, overcome a challenge, solve or resolve a problem. And we've got to stop using those words interchangeably because they do not mean the same thing. This week is a little bit heavier because a problem requires more effort, more energy, more attention, more input. And because of that, it's going to be a bigger lesson, if you will, and a greater opportunity for you to not only grow and develop, but also to hopefully strengthen relationships with other people. Because unlike an issue or a challenge, which may just be maybe a singular situation to you, a problem will more than likely involve other people. 9.99999 times out of 10, it's going to involve other people, which is why it's a problem. Also, as I previously defined, a problem will create either stagnation or in some form or fashion get you stuck. So you want to be able to solve or resolve a problem so that you can get unstuck. Now, we all have problems. And the first thing that I would like to do is help you understand what a problem really is by giving you a couple of examples. Last week, I talked about an example being that you cannot pay your mortgage. That's a problem. You can't buy ice cream is an issue and maybe even a challenge. You can't pay your mortgage or your car payment and it's your transportation to get to work. That's a problem. And that's going to involve other people. So we'll just use the can't pay your mortgage. Can't pay your mortgage, you got to call the mortgage company or contact the mortgage company. You may have to borrow money from somebody. It's going to involve other people. There are other people who may live in your household that are impacted by the fact that you can't cover the household expenses. So that is a problem and it involves other people. And oh, by the way, until you pay that mortgage, you can't move forward. I'm going to have a moment of transparency. There was a time many years ago that I had, what did I have? I had vertigo. I couldn't think of what it was called. I had vertigo and I was off work for 3 months. And my company declined to accept my disability, even though I had all of the documentation. So I was 3 months without a salary because I was down and out with vertigo. And so I got behind in my mortgage as a result of that. And so when I was able to return to work, I of course had to get caught up on my mortgage. And I didn't because I felt like I was so far behind that I was scared, y'all. Side note, if you can't pay your bills, the worst thing you can do is avoid the debt collectors or whoever you owe the money to. Just contact them. Most companies will work with you. That's my little sidebar. That's my little PSA for the day. I didn't know that, right? At the time, I was afraid I couldn't pay my mortgage. And so I let it just compile. I was afraid to contact the mortgage company. And so every day, that was back in the day. This is how long ago it was. It was back in the day when I was in the office every day. There was no such thing as working remotely. So every day that I would come home, I'd drive around the corner real slow, looking to see if my stuff was out on the street because I didn't know that there was a foreclosure process. I was I was real green, y'all. I didn't know. But there apparently is a foreclosure process that you have to go through where they notify you and all of that. And so since they weren't contacting me, I thought they were going to do a sneak attack and just come take my house and put all my stuff out. I didn't know. I was scared. And so I can tell you, I lost many nights sleep. I wasn't doing well. It really impacted my life in every single area of my life because I was so afraid of what was going to happen because I was avoiding the problem. So that was a problem. It was not an issue. I couldn't just address it. And it definitely wasn't a challenge. It wasn't something I could just overcome because anybody who's ever been behind on bills, once you get behind, it just compiles when you're trying to play catch up. At any rate, that's a problem. Another problem that I have had in the past, and I'm sharing all my business. Another problem that I have had in the past is obviously people problem. I would get upset about something that happened with someone else. And instead of addressing it, I would call myself suppressing it. But the issue didn't go away or the challenge didn't go away. And so something else would happen. And instead of just being mad over what just happened, I was also mad over what happened before that I never actually addressed with the person. And so the problem just compiled to the point that we ended up having an issue in our relationship. How many people have ever had that happen before? That'd be all of us. And so then I would come off like I had a bad attitude or a chip on my shoulder because I did not address the actual issue when it was an issue, or the challenge when it became a challenge. It became a huge problem. With that being said, it ends up ruining relationships when something turns into a problem and you don't try to solve or resolve it. You can harbor all of those feelings. And by the way, what that does is it creates narratives in your head that then becomes a singular conversation because it's just you, and you make up what their response might be, or you make up what you think their position is, instead of you having the conversation, which is never healthy. So have the conversations that are necessary to have with people in order to come to a resolution and resolve the problems that you have. Now, let me get to my strategies for actually solving or resolving a problem. The very first thing I recommend is that you identify what the problem is. You got to know what the problem is before you can begin to tackle it. Before you can solve a problem, know what that problem is, and don't make a problem out of something that's not a problem. Really identify the problem. And then once you know what the problem is, the next thing you want to do is shift your mindset and understand that there's other perspectives, because again, keep in mind, problems typically involve other people. So there's other perspectives, and everybody has an opinion, or everybody has their own truth about that problem. So what do? You stick to the facts, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. That's from back in the 70s. Anyway, you stick to the facts. You have your truth, they have theirs, but then somewhere in the middle is just the facts. Stick to just the facts so that you can make sure what you're solving or resolving is based upon facts, not feelings, not opinions, not perspectives, not triggers. Make sure you're addressing the problem, or excuse me, make sure that you're seeking to solve the problem based upon the facts, not anything else. The next thing is accept accountability. What role did you play in it? We all play a role. What role did you play in it? To sit around and point fingers and talk about what somebody else said or did is not going to resolve the problem. You can only take a look at and change yourself. So take accountability, figure out what it is that you've contributed to it. And then the next one is evaluate your options for how to solve it. What are my opportunities here? What options do I have to actually solve or resolve this problem, so that you can make sure you are doing your part? After you've done that evaluation, actually take action. Don't sit on it talking about what you should do, what you could do, what you might do. Actually do something. Take action. Figure out what you can do to solve or resolve the problem, and then take the action to do that. You got to make sure you have a follow through. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Did I just say that? I did. I just said that. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Actually take action. And then last but not least, follow up. Once you've done your part and whoever else needs to do their part, do a follow up, circle back, always come back and say, hey, this was the problem. This is what I did to solve or resolve it. Here's where we stand right now. See if they've done their part, or if they still have something they need to do. Make sure you're good. But after you do your follow through, then follow up. That way, you're checking in with yourself, you're checking in with whoever else is involved, and you're actually going towards a solution and solving the problem so that you can learn and grow from it. Okay? So, those are my only tools and tips for a problem. I gave y'all examples of what problems are. I'm ecstatic that next month in April, which is next week, that we're going to be going into another topic, and I will reveal that. I'll reveal that via social media before next week. I'm toggling between two different options, and I haven't settled on which one I'm going to do yet. But I want something that's going to be closer to home and something that's going to be relatable for everybody. So if you have something else that you want me to talk about, please send me a message, comment, let me know. I think I've already disclosed that I'm in the process I'm in a neuroscience program right now. So I'm studying more about the brain and how the brain impacts the body, and our thought process, and how it actually affects us overall, and how we react or respond or show up the way we show up. So let me know if there's something specific that you would like for me to address. I'm not paying for all this education just for me. So if there's something specific that you all would like for me to address, please let me know. I am going to go ahead and get off of here instead of belaboring the point. So I want you all to make today better than yesterday, strive for an even better tomorrow, because mindset truly is everything. Take care, be blessed.